Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming by, I appreciate it. Let's see, I got my little dice to tell me where my edges are. Everything's good. Obviously, I'm doing a Superman comic, so if you watch any of my live streams, you know that I've been focusing on unboxing and opening new independent comics that come in the mail, or some of them actually come from my local comic shop, or LCS, if you don't know the term. So when you hear LCS, it's a local comic shop. But I did pick up, finally, the hardcover 30th anniversary deluxe edition of The Death of Superman. When I first read the promo for it, I thought it was going to be the whole, like, it's about 5 volumes like this that are The Death of Superman and his return, but no, it's just one of those volumes with a ton of extras in it. So I did find that out before I ordered it, got my head straight on it. So this is an old trade paperback of The Death of Superman in here. And I should look over for any familiar names or whatnot, but we got Jerry Ordway, Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Louis Simonson, and Roger Stern are writers. I'll bring that up again later. And then we have letterers and artists, etc. Dan Jurgens being one of them. And, Doug Hazelwood is in here. That's good. I don't want to discredit the other ones, but I'm just looking real quick in case Art T. Bear, someone I know, happened to have inked anything. And apparently he did not. So, at least not in this book, not that I could see. This book compiles a whole bunch of other books, and obviously this is an older print, a little bit yellow on the side. I picked it up second hand for $4.50. It originally went, if you can see that, I don't know if you can, for £5. And notice that's not DC, it's Titan Books. This is a UK copy. Why would I have a UK copy? Never mind. Anyway, but yeah, other graphic novels in here. And here we go. It includes at least these books, if not several more. And they did something really cool that I'll just show while this is in my hand. And I had to be told this, but the comic looks pretty normal here. At some point in the multiple Superman titles crossing over to make the story, they started doing these bigger panels like this. Yeah, here we go. And so here we notice there are 3 panels on each page, and I don't know what issue this is in. I remember reading it before, but I don't recall what issue. There you go. So this is a new issue over here. This is the last page of a prior issue. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how we're getting big panel 1, 2, 3. This is one panel. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. And then in this issue, it's all 1, 2, 3 panels per page. 1, 2, 3, etc. Like a big countdown. And then they get to 2 panels per page until the final issue, which was 1 panel per page. Like so. And this is how they originally published it in way back when for the final fight, etc. So these panels, full splash, they don't even have borders. But yes, these are 2 separate panels, not a double page spread, etc. And then finally a double page spread. So, okay, so that was really cool when I learned about that. Next, for the 30th anniversary, they came out with a special comic, which I have not read yet. I have no idea how good it is, as well as a new super deluxe extra. Hey, you can see the reflection of the camera in here. Anyway, a new super deluxe hardcover, special stuff in it. So I'm going to be opening that up. But first, I hesitated to get this till I saw who all the writers were. Again, Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Roger Stern, Louis Simonson. Sounds familiar. It's the same people, so it's not going to be full of a whole ton of weird crap, I hope. And I doubt it. These are pretty solid writers, as long as DC Editorial isn't trying to warp the stories. So I'll find out what this is at some point in the future. My local comic shop didn't have a lot of covers left by the time I got around to realizing it had come out. And so this is the one I grabbed, not the one I favored. That's all. So now I want to open this guy up and see what all the extras are. I have no idea. So it's kind of like unboxing, if you would. There are a whole bunch of air holes in this, but I'm going to start up here. There's a hole I can just cut through. It's a cuticle cutter, by the way. So I just pull away from the pages with it as I, pull away from the pages as I go across, like that. Maybe I have to do a second pass. There's a hole here. Oops, clumsy hand. Come on. There it is. So just not to mar up the pages and stuff like that. I was taught as a kid, apparently it was unusual, but I was taught as a kid how to handle things carefully, like records and CDs and stuff like that. not always in the kindest words. What did I just do here? But, you know, that, I mean, my older brother was great. He didn't exactly get me into comics, but he did teach me how to collect stamps. How to. So, you got to keep things clean, handle them delicately, like, handle them in a way that you don't want to just break them. So this looks like it's a matte finish, not a soft touch, just a simple matte finish page. This is the B cover, I believe, and the A cover probably looks like the hardcover underneath is a little bit more like that. So this is an old, very standard image for this story. And I believe under the dust jacket, because I kind of could see along the edge, it's something else. It doesn't have really the A cover on it at all. That's fine. Oh, the back, the imprint in the back, if you can see there, that's really cool. So there's the back. So this, I forget what they call this kind of image on the inside, back and front covers, but on the back it's actually printed on the overflap from the dust jacket. Alright, so just so it stays nice, I'm going to take the dust jacket and set it aside. There we go. Whoops, bump the tripod. Okie doke. So my brother taught me how to break, well, there's also a book on this on my parents' shelf where I had all kinds of little trivia for kids and stuff, and they talked about this tip-in page on the side, but they talked about how to break in a book properly, and you start at the edges, etc., and you can go, I don't think you need to do this on a lot of modern books, but you go in a few pages at a time and kind of let it smooth out. So we'll take a look. So yeah, it's a nice old reprint. Usually DC tells you, oh, essays. DC tells you what they're reprinting exactly on a lot of these. So that'll be, yeah, that'll be in this blurb where we have, here it goes, Action Comics 683 through 684, Adventures of Superman 496 and 497, Superman 73, 74, 75, Man of Steel, by the way, that's going to be Superman, the 87 series, Man of Steel 17, 18, 19, Justice League of America 69, News Time, The Life and Death of Superman, Superman Day of Doom 1 through 4. Okay, there's a copyright 92, 93, and 2003. So there's definitely more in here than there was in that previous paperback I showed. Let me get a few pages down. Oh, look at this. Wow. I remember reading that. I read this a while ago. Yeah, this doesn't feel like it needs much breaking in at all. It feels fine. There's a lot of extra material in here. Alright, so these are the older comics with what we just looked at. Right here. It's good stuff. I like this style of drawing. You know, you have some anatomy, things are clear. It's the same around the Chris Claremont era of X-Men when that started, so pretty standard. So now we're getting down to that one panel per page. Yep. Okay, now this page is short. I want to see why. Ah. Okay, that's interesting. I have not seen that before. If this was done in a separate edition at some point, I've never seen it. So you can see where they've matched up the artwork here and then given the other version of it like so. That's interesting. It's got to be a tipped-in page. So a little bit of glare. Hope you can see that. Where she's let him go and to lay down. So what's on the reverse of that? The tombstone. Okay, and probably back here is the 2003 story. So we saw there was an essay up front. Yeah, I think, let's see. Superman Day of Doom, #1, cover by Dan Jurgens, Bill Sienkiewicz, I never say his name correctly, and Jose Villarrubia. Villarrubia. So, oh, am I getting too much glare on that? It's kind of funny, my camera is automatically finding faces like all over the place. That's when you know the artwork is good, is when it recognizes the face. So I've seen some artwork where you can't recognize a face. Yeah, I don't know that I had this in floppies ever. I've been collecting some Superman lately. I'll try to hold that up. It just caught this face. Good. Bet there's another cover in here. No, there isn't. Okay. So I have never read this story before. I have something to read. I don't even know what it is. If it's retelling from a different point of view or what. No, it doesn't look like it. Yep. So cool. This is unusual. Clark in a dark mood here. I think this is before what's his name? Jim Lee went to, and Brian Azarel, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing the name, but Brian with the Z's in his name, the two of them went to some really dark, broody, angry, red eyes glowing Superman, and I think around 2004, so I think this was right before it. So here we go, News Time, The Life and Death of the Man of Steel, from May 1993. Cool. Huh. Whole special letters to the editor. Yeah, this was a big deal when it first happened. I remember the books being on the shelf. It was right after I got into comics, for the first time. So there's some reading to do here. Yep, News Time, May 93. The Man of Steel pays the ultimate price for defending his beloved adopted city, Metropolis. There you go. So you see interviews every so often, and people talk about, what they remember from, let's see, was it Jason Todd? I'm getting the names mixed up. But when Jason Todd was killed, and then Superman was killed. Anyway. That's cool. Obituary from the Daily Planet. The National Whisper. I saw Superman pumping gas at a Texas road stop. I have no idea where these came out originally. So here's a piece. From Previews Magazine, February 1994. There's Darkseid's down here. Because he is. Illustrations by Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding for t-shirts. Now this is a cover I've seen before, Superman 75. Yeah. Attention, note revisions, toss out old charts. Chart everything out. My dad has pictures like this of people. He's taking a picture of somebody taking a picture of him. So, anyway. So much stuff. Yeah, this is a nice little hardcover. They threw in an extra 4-issue miniseries in there. Cool. So that's the kind of stuff that's inside this 30th anniversary hardcover deluxe. DC's putting out a lot of deluxe edition hardcovers where they throw in, just all kinds of extras. Usually more extras than the last deluxe edition hardcover had, so they do it every few years. Yeah. Stuff about each. Let's see, is this an interview or a group discussion? The following is an abridged transcript of the virtual roundtable session hosted by former Superman editor Mike Carlin, featuring Death of Superman writers Jurgens, Ordway, Stern, and Simonson. That's Louise, they call her. Here the creative team discusses the making of the iconic storyline and the impact that it has continued to have 30 years later. Cool. Alright. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for taking a look with me. I hope that was enjoyable. The thing says we've gone almost 16 minutes. I will be doing some more live streams and hopefully get some more reviews out real soon. Thanks much. Have a good night.